Today's video is going to be about a few things. We're going to be explorative. God, I wish I could have seen him building this stuff. We're going to try and experiment. Image stabilization is fantastic. And we're going to take in the beautiful New England autumn scenery. It looks like we're reaching the top of the world. Let's get going and get this video started. So here we are. We're gonna hit the woods. But before we hit the woods, as I was driving here, taking in the beautiful foliage, I had to make a very important stop. Oh man, you gotta get out of the road, buddy. You're just a itty bitty thing and I barely saw you, so time to get you back to the woods. That's where I'm going. Whee! Whee! I'll get you right over here. You can head for the water. Good luck. You gotta help out the little guys. All right, here we go. Look familiar? Yeah. This is the location of the hotspot cellar hole, the mill site, which I've shown you all, and up across it is where we went and we found that cabin. But if you remember right, there was also a cart path out there that just kind of veered off to the west and up. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to follow it. I'm sure it's going to bring me right up to the peak of the mountain that's over there. And my curiosity factor of it is it a cart path? It's an old road that was a cut through to get up over this ridgeline. That would be really interesting if the case. Whoa, well that's slippery already. If you guys remember, this was just a hop, skip, and a jump. Now it's going to be a hop, skip, and a Joe situation. Wow, with the rain we had and pollen that's out right now, everything is amazingly slick. All right, well, we've crossed the river, so that's out of the way. Now, for the experimental part of this, I'm filming with my iPhone today. I got the iPhone XS. I haven't filmed with a smartphone in, well, pretty much this entire year. Felt like traveling light today, new phone, just out of curiosity. It'll never replace my main camera, but it's great for a day like today. Now, onward, upward, and let's get to some scenery. So as we start out, I want you all to look at that flat spot going up. Just a recap of info, and for those of you, if you're new to the channel, we're in New Hampshire. We're hiking in an area that is forest again, but up until, oh, probably 100 years ago, was all pasture for livestock. See this rock line? That's the side of the cart path. But the interesting thing about this territory is it literally goes up the side of a mountain between 1,900 feet. And that's where I'm going, because I've never gone up this way. I've only, to a degree, followed this cart path as I brought you guys here in the summertime, but I only went up to the first cross wall. Today we're going well beyond that. About 20 minutes in, I've come to that cross wall where I had been during the summer. Old pasture. That wall could be 250 years old easily. Now this is where it gets to the point of deciding which way to go and making it up. So I've followed a lot of these walls, and you know, it's pretty much turned up to be nothing but old pasture. Nobody really settled on this side of the mountain. But as I look around, it's actually not that bad over here. I mean, it's not impossible to find a cabin site or an early settler site. but anything that I have found has been up over the mountain. Well, I'm just gonna head right back down to that cart path, because that's the thing that's got me really curious as to where it keeps going. I'll keep popping my head in off the side when I see land like this that's not all that bad in comparison as we go up. Well, the cart path ended at the wall, so I'm gonna follow the wall. It's going due east, which is where I need to go to get up. The thing about these cart paths and walls is the longer we do this and we learn, it's not uncommon to find a wall that has been updated, upgraded at some point in the past. I'm gonna see if I can find where that cart path continues on. This area, 1730s, 1750s, but after the abandonment in the mid-1800s, a lot of these old farms and pastures were used for livestock. They were shipping a lot of goods to Boston, so that's why when we come up here sometimes we'll find sections of walls going over roads or barbed wire, which obviously is a lot newer than when the early settlers were here. All right, so still skimming that wall. And if you look off in the distance there, it corners off and heads south. So we're at the end of one pasture, which would have basically been down about where I parked. And that was a good 35-minute hike. Oh yeah, look at this. Very cool. Very, very cool. 4 corners. God, I wish I could have seen them building this stuff. Did they start here and work their way out? Because to meet up would be pretty remarkable, but as we've seen, these things can go up, down, over, across all kinds of terrain, and they're still completely straight and true. And as I look around, whoa, see up there in the horizon? That's where I'm going. I got a long way to go. If I wasn't bushwhacking and exploring, I'd be there in less than half the time. But what is the fun in that? Well, and that figures as I come up to this wall that I'm following, I've got to go down, way down, before I can even go up. Aside from the wall, there's no signs of anything else out here. No signs of logging. I'm not even seeing any game trails. Just this wall that was built a long time ago. This is a situation that could create a problem and add a whole bunch of time. Look at that wall of granite. Eek. Well, it's hard to see through the brush and everything, but it just goes on that way and it goes on that way. So without veering too far off from, you know, the straight line I'm trying to go in, I got to get up there. I thought that was the last up back there, but I guess not. I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'll show you what I just did. I had to navigate around that. There's like a little mountain pond up here, and I went north. I need to just circle it and head back and see if that wall is still on the other side. If it is, I'll follow the wall. So the wall that I was following came up from down there, and it bangs a hard right. So that was the end of that pasture. They stopped the wall because I'm sure it was just way too difficult to build it up there, and these guys usually doesn't hesitate at all when it came to making pastures. Wow. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna get up there one way or another. It's just everything's so slick today. I guess that's where I'm going. I'm gonna go off camber and see what happens. Well, maybe the other hand. Oh, I just made it to a couple hundred feet of that, and look. Eesh. Well, turning around, I can definitely see the horizon out there, right about there. So I'm getting up there, but my God, look at that. Right about the top of my hiking stick is where the horizon is. That is gonna be a hell of a climb. Wow. Well, looks like we're reaching the top of the world. Now to see if I can identify what part of the trail up here I've popped onto. Hiked it many times. I think I'm right exactly where I wanted to be. Yeah, wow. This section of the trail has a particular name, and I literally just bushwhacked straight all the way up to it. Nice. Oh, wow. Look at that. And looking back, see where my finger is pointing? You can see a change in the trees. That's where I came up from and parked, way down there. And as I stand here and look out, knowing my surroundings, it's a great perspective. Right out there, that's our meeting house, that's the town center. And off to the left, you see those two white buildings. That's actually the first piece of property in town that was settled upon. We know who lives there now. Gorgeous. So I'm gonna take a look around. I haven't been up on this section of trail in a while. I know I have a good hike back. If I had just taken one of the cut trails up here, this would have been a third of the distance, time, and trouble. But you bushwhack it, it's a whole different story. I'm gonna dip back down to the trail here, take a look around. So I came up the trail just a bit here to get a view of the east. If it wasn't so hazy today, would actually be able to see the Boston skyline. That's right out that way, about 50 miles line of sight. You know, I love bushwhacking and making my own trail, but I got to be careful going back down that way because there's a couple of good sized ponds that if I go down the wrong way, I'm gonna have to find an alternative route around them. As you saw and know, when I crossed that stream where the old mill site was, that's like the optimum place to get across to here. So when I go back down, I gotta make sure that's where I end up. So exploration wise, this has been awesome. I got to see a side of the mountain that I had not seen before. Experiment wise, yeah, it was nice just carrying my cell phone, but it can't compete with the Canon I normally use. Realistically, it all comes down to production time. It's a lot easier using that other camera. The audio is better, I don't have to mess with it, and I just pop the card out, put it in my computer. But I always use this in a pinch when I need it. I just figured today, you know what? Let's go slim and trim, test it out. It's a good camera, don't get me wrong. All right. Time to get out of here and head back down. One thing though, I can't argue with about the camera and the iPhones, in particular the XS, the image stabilization is fantastic. It's not built into most cameras, it's in the lens, and even that does not do the job that this does. So that's why a lot of times I grab this to shoot B-roll when I'm moving around. Well, here we go. Downward. You know, it's actually worse than coming up. If your lungs and legs can handle going up, no problem. When your knees become suspension, going down, that's where you feel it. You gotta go so slow and easy. Oh man, look at what I'm stepping in. Look at this. Just drop your leg in there, twist, roll, and brake. Man, it's slick as anything. Notice that I still take the time to film. Believe me, if I go down, the camera's going off in orbit. Hi, George, by the way. FG just hit me up. He spotted the vehicle where I parked. And he knows exactly where I am, which is good. So if I end up turning up missing, oof. Wow, that just goes down. Well, that's it, everybody. Oof. I guess we're going. See, anything can happen. I made it out of the woods safe. I'm going home. I need nourishment. Hope you all enjoyed the video, enjoyed the hike, enjoyed the scenery. We'll see you soon. Until then, enjoy your Not Thursday.